Ben, every so often I'll throw out this question just because I want to see the wheels spinning and see if you're able to find something. So, and just because most of college football is out there hoping for some thread of weakness, something to latch onto, to grab, to have some hope. And of course, the team didn't win a national championship game, but if you look at the bigger picture, we're being real here. They probably beat Clemson 6 or 7 out of 10 times. I know that doesn't count. Clemson earned the championship, but in terms of talking about program status, this is still the best program in the country right now. Is there any inkling of weakness? Can we find any concern in what's going on there at Tuscaloosa? You got anything for me?
I'll play along. I think it's the offense, the identity of the offense. I don't think Alabama's they never had an identity on offense this year, right? I mean, it started off as a passing attack, the run pass option. Then they started to try to run the ball later in the season. Then Bo Scarborough got injured, and then Alabama had trouble in that championship game. I think that's the biggest thing, and I wonder, with Lane now out and Sarkisian, he's not an old school I formation type of offensive coordinator, but you wonder if Alabama will try to line up and run the ball more, and maybe if nothing else, just kind of question itself on offense. Which direction do we need to go? Now, on the flip side of that is if they do decide to go back and just run the football and pound teams, I still think it's going to be pretty hard for them to lose because they'll keep their defense off the field and let those guys do what they do, and they should still be able to move the football, run the ball. So maybe if there's a one weakness, Marcus, maybe the offense, they try to step into that realm and did a pretty good job, no question, but I still think it kind of hurt them, late in the season and maybe pulling off that championship. So that might be all I got. And the other weakness is the kicking game. Not punter J.K. Scott, but place kicking. I mean, Alabama lost another elite kicker recruit who switched instead, decided to stay home at Arizona State just earlier this week. So it's 2 years in a row. They lost Eddie Pinheiro, who went to Florida, who was perfect outside of 50 yards this year as a sophomore. They could have used him. Not that it would have made a difference in the championship game, but they're going to need a place kicker again for next year. They got an Ole Miss transfer who I think kicked one field goal this year, a few extra points. So not a lot of experience there, and that could, again, be a weakness in tight games.
Ben, I think it was probably the allure of envisioning kicking the game-winning field goal in I believe it's called the Territorial Cup, Arizona State,
yeah,
and he just didn't envision anything coming close to that going to Tuscaloosa.
I'm sure that's the main reason. Blake Barnett, who left Alabama in September, maybe he had a little bit to do with it, keeping him there at home. Who knows?